Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Parsahs Vayakhel, Parsahs Parah, Shabbos after Purim. Also, in Chabad, we finished the Chassidish Parsha. The Torah Or completes with Vayakhel, and I had a schus to finish the Torah Or with Megillas Esther this year. So to make a little seam on the Torah Or, based on the last mimer, last discourse, the Alter Rebbe talks about why on Pesach does the first week into Sfiras Omer, and even before we count the Omer, we eat matzah, which is a poor man's bread, lechem oini. So we go from Purim to Pesach, like the Sikha we learned today, Mismach Geula, the Geula. We take one redemption, the redemption of Golus, and go straight into the redemption of Geula. So why do we eat poor man's bread the first week of Pesach when we're working on ourselves? And it's an amazing idea the Alter Rebbe says that we know. Then Chassidus talks about that there's two ways a person works on themselves. You go from Hiskafya, restraining yourself, to Hiskafya, transforming yourself. Seemingly, Hiskafya, restraining yourself, means that you still have desires or laziness, whether it's not to do something or to do something, agendas, etc. And you have to control yourself, subdue yourself, work on your nefesh bahamis, your animal soul, in order to do what's right, what Hashem wants from you. But you haven't changed your character. And it could be at the time that you're restraining yourself, you have a burning desire to do something or not to do something, and you're kind of enforcing yourself to overcome this temptation, overcome this issue, and to each person according to what they struggle with, in order to be able to do what Hashem wants from us. And so you look down at yourself a bit, that I'm still struggling like this. His hapcha means to transform yourself. You're no longer that person. The Alter Rebbe says, we talked about this many times, but here the Alter Rebbe says something very powerful. That there's no way, it's impossible for a person to get in touch with the sovev, with the encompassing light, with a level of godliness that's beyond the world, unless you first do Hiskafya until you restrain yourself, which means bittul, self-nullification. This is why Moshe Rabbeinu talked about the coverings of the Mishkan before he talked about the internal vessels of the Mishkan. The coverings of the Mishkan represent the person's makif, encompassing energy. Seemingly, it's only encompassing. You haven't changed the inside of yourself. You just went into an environment of holiness. So while that's true, but in order to get in touch with that encompassing energy, it requires bittul, self-nullification. You are no longer who you are. You're a person who takes your own self-interest out of the question here. You haven't developed yet into something else. To transform yourself, you develop to something else. Then you're a yesh. You're something. When you're a something, even the most holy something, is you're a bayra. You're a niver. You're a creation. For the creation to connect to the essence, to the creator, you have to lose self. And then when you develop self, which is the next stage after you exercise restraint, and after you go through bittul, self-nullification, then it's psach libi b'sar sech. You open your heart to Torah. The Alter Rebbe gives the example of the seed, that the seed can't become a tree unless it first dissolves and it becomes part of the earth. It goes through a rotting process to lose its identity as a seed to become a tree. And so too in our avodas Hashem, it's not just that in order to elevate ourselves to transformation, we must first work on ourselves, but the working on ourselves is, so to say, a gift from God. He gives us with the ability to exercise bittul. Had we not have to restrain ourselves, we would never have to go through the process of bittul. And if you don't have bittul, you don't have the coverings. And if you don't have the coverings, so what's the point of the vessels? We want to have vessels inside of space. And the space is the space of God, the space of the sovev. And then, of course, afterwards we transform the insides, the vessels of the Mishkan. And this is the final mimer of the Torah Or. And like the Rebbe says in 1965, the Rebbe spoke about that the idea is that's why when do we get the strength to do this? It's Shabbos. When we get from Shabbos, we get, that's why Moshe Rabbeinu started right away to tell the people about Shabbos. When we start with Shabbos, then we have the strength to work on ourselves to be able to get through the whole path. And then afterwards, we get to the higher level of Shabbos. The way Shabbos is a gift from above. It's oineg. That's not based on that we've changed the world, but God gives us simcha in our avodah, the avodah, that what we've done and what we've accomplished, we're able to taste me'ein olam haba, like the taste of the world to come. With the coming of Mashiach, we understand the value of our avodah, and may our avodah bring forth the coming of Mashiach when we have the Parah Duma this week, we should be purified. Zerakti Aleichem Mayim Taharim, God pours upon us the waters of purity, so we can celebrate together the Geula of Mashiach this year Pesach, with the Korban Pesach and the Beis HaMikdash Shlishi. Good Shabbos, everyone, and a good Chodesh already.